Carrie launches Scope on her desktop. She sees her quick access landing page and selects Projects. She opens the Bundestag hack folder so she can resume her progress. The dashboard for the Bundestag hack appears, and Carrie is able to preview her investigation thus far, which includes previous work she has gathered with the assistance of Scope, the artificial intelligence. Carrie expands the hub by clicking on the preview. She activates Scope using subvocalization and commands Scope to suggest a visual representation best fit for each of the datasets. Each hexagon here represents a complex dataset, and the arrangement of the hexagons is based on complex shared relationships amongst the data in relevance to Carrie's research. Carrie moves forward with her investigation. She subvocally commands to Scope, "Give me a list of Russian hackers active in 2015. Scope also recommends to Carrie more distally affiliated hackers from China and Cuba as a way to sway Carrie from a biased query pathway. Carrie tells Scope to ignore the suggestions for now so she can dig deeper into the Russian hacker data since the current suspect is Russian. Carrie then notices that Scope has highlighted recent anomalous activity within the hacker list. Carrie is curious whether any of the hackers recently made a trip to Germany. So she asks Scope, who booked a return flight from Germany to Russia between April 10th and April 25th, 2015. Scope indicates that Dmitry Badin and Christos Sergov are cross-referenced between the two lists. Based on this information, Carrie has a hunch that these two may be in cahoots, so she queries further regarding their possible connection. Carrie asks the system, is there any evidence of geographical overlap between Dmitry Badin and Christos Sergov? Scope indicates two locations in Moscow, Russia. Carrie takes a closer look at the information in these locations to determine the nature of their possible encounters. She zooms all the way into the Bolshaya parking lot data point. Carrie sees the node and edge graph about Badin and Sergov's encounter and chooses to utilize Scope's natural language interpreter to get a better sense of the data displayed. Carrie unselects the Moscow entity from the data because this information is repetitive, considering she is already within the Moscow meetup dataset. Carrie is interested in learning more about Christo and how he may be connected to the Bundestag hack. Carrie queries, what information do we have on Christo Sergov? Carrie sees that Scope has grouped a handful of data points and wants to know how Scope has formed the conclusion of Christo being a GRU member. So she drags down the subvocalization module to reveal the supporting evidence, which includes direct source links so Carrie can easily access the original sources. Now that Carrie knows more about Christos Sergov, she better understands the relationship between him and Dmitry Badin. Carrie concludes that the GRU are who sponsored Dmitry Badin through Christos Sergov to hack the Bundestag. Carrie edits the generated text and adds the sponsored connection between Christos Sergov and Dmitry Badin, and hits done when the edit is complete. With this addition, the new sponsored edge is then added to the node and edge graph between Christos Sergov and Dmitry Badin. Carrie wraps up this portion of her investigation by saving the generated text to the report archive folder, so she can reference it later when constructing her final report.